Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are looking at a fun 2-game slate here tonight on Thursday night. In this one, taking a look at the Nuggets, taking on the Warriors. So we'll be taking a look at some of the best bets. We got a lot of player props available already to take a look at as well. Nate has his great article up on playpicks.com with some best bets and player props in there for you. And make sure to like and subscribe to that page and check out the other video we have up for you today and the player props video that we have up for you today. And do stay on thelines.com. Make sure you're checking out the props tool we have for you, getting all the best juice you can on those odds. And we also have another opportunity for you guys to win an Amazon $25 gift card if you head to thelines.com and check out that. What's it called here, Nate? I already forgot.
It's play.thelines.com. And it is the daily pick'em challenge that they have up now where you pick 8 things against the spread or prop bets. And if you get them all right, you win that gift card.
Yeah,
it's free to play.
It's going to be fun tonight. I would check it out. We've only got 2 games, so you've got a lot of fun stuff to choose from just in these 2 really great offensive teams tonight. So if you head over there, you have the opportunity to win that gift card for $25 if you get each of those picks correct. Make sure you check it out. Play.thelines.com. So some pretty fun stuff over there. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's jump into it.
Yeah, with 2 games on the slate, I don't know how the NBA timed this so well, but they are very notable games. And we're seeing a ton of action on the over in both games. This one opened at 220 and is now at 228.5. The Nets game that we talked about, Nets at Sixers, opened at 222 and has been bet up 12 points to 234.5. Right now, Brooklyn is +5 at Philly. And in this game, the Nuggets open +4. They're down to +1.5 as people are hitting that, attacking the Warriors, who still struggle without Draymond Green. And that is really where we start. They're 16-16 without him. You've heard us talk about this ad nauseum. 28-6 with him. Defensive rating 10 points worse without him. They've lost 5, or they're 5-9 on the road since losing Draymond, and 1-5 in their last 6 road games. All 6 of those have gone over. So I understand where the action is coming from here. Warriors posting the 3rd worst defensive rating in those 6 road games, 120.7, but they're 7th best in offense, 5th best in true shooting in those games. And without Draymond out there, Jokic is probably going to keep doing MVP things. He's one of the few guys that can slow Jokic down in 18 career meetings. The reigning MVP, he has 15.7 points per game against Draymond. It's just shooting 48% from the field and 18% from deep, versus in 3 games for the Nuggets beating the Warriors this season, no Draymond in any of those. He's averaging about 30 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. So that's right on par. I mean, he's been even hotter than that lately since he got a night off, averaging 38.7 and 15 boards and 10 assists with a 141 offensive rating. Nuggets obviously on fire offensively in terms of efficiency while winning 10 of their last 11. And it doesn't really matter if you throw out there with Jokic, their latest win over the Kings, no Bones Highland, Will Barton, or Jeff Green. All 3 of those guys probably going to miss tonight as well. But Jokic is just a one-man wrecking crew. And I will say he's still around +200 or higher to win MVP. And he should be the leader once again. And the only reason he wouldn't win MVP is voter fatigue. People saying, oh, let's get some new blood in there. He is leading, I think StatMuse put it up. If you take all the advanced stats on Basketball Reference, he's leading 34 of the 40 of them. Whereas Embiid has a couple and Giannis has 2. Anyway, We're talking about the Nuggets as a team here. And what's really noticeable is how much they've ramped up in pace. In their last 6 home games, they've won 5 and they're 5th in pace in that span. And their 3-point defense has been far, far worse at home. They're leading the league in 3-point defense on the road, but they're 18th in 3-point defense at home. Just gave up a ton of points in a narrow win over the Warriors on a back-to-back to start this week. So we're in basically the same situation now with Denver on another back-to-back. Yeah. They've actually won 4 of their last 5 and covered in 4 of their last 5 on back-to-back. So I still like the Nuggets to win, but I think more than that, I also like points in this game. I think if you want to tease both of these games down to get those overs back closer where they started, you'd feel better about it if you're coming late to the party here. But I mean, there's a lot of reason to like points with no Draymond out there, and with the Nuggets on a back-to-back, the Warriors should be able to score. They're coming off a very impressive offensive performance against the Clippers, and if you can beat a team from deep, you expect the Warriors to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, I think points will be there, but more so, I think that this line is completely wrong. I would have been completely understood if this line had opened complete inverse at -4.5 for Denver. The Warriors are still getting the credit that they have, I guess, earned since since 2014. But this is not the same team, and it's really just all about what's been happening to them on the road. I mean, they haven't been much better at home. They've had a few more cupcakes that they played at home, but I mean, if you look at their last 6 road games, as you mentioned, 1-5. They've covered once in that game and still lost to the Nuggets. Obviously, they were completely shorthanded that night. But even with Steph on the floor, everything that's happening to the Dubs right now on defense is really the issue for me. That's not what gets talked about with them. In the years that they won the championships, they had a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense, except for the one with KD, where their defense was like 12th, but their offense was historic, right, with Clay, KD, Iggy, Steph, etc. So, that's so crucial to what Golden State does. Even at the beginning of the season, we were just slapping their unders because they're playing defense at such an insane rate, both on the road and at home. A little bit better at home, which even on the road now they're still slightly worse in terms of playing defense than they are at home. The 120 defensive rating, still playing at 15th fastest pace. Even you mentioned Denver's pace at home skyrocketing. So really like all of that. The Dubs are giving up the third worst field goal percentage in that time to their opponents, allowing teams to shoot over 50% in their last 6 road games as well. I mean, everything here just really, to me, just really leans towards, even if Clay and Steph do go off tonight, Steph can go for 30, Clay could go for 25, and I would still, and this team could score 115 points tonight, and I wouldn't be super shocked, but that hasn't been how they've been, even when they've been winning, it's not winning with those high totals as we were talking about here. They really prefer to win with those scores a lot lower, as you look at the difference in their victories and their losses, averaging about like 8 more points per game in those, and giving up about 9 more points per game in their losses. So, there's just everything here, all the stats, everything that I'm looking at just says, why would I feel good about, Golden State doing anything right now? They're back to, even when Steph scores 36 points in a game, makes 8 threes, they still don't have enough offensive firepower. I mean, Jordan Poole has had 1 good game in his last 7. If you look at his log, Andrew Wiggins is right back to being a non-factor, which he completely fooled us for the first half of the season, and apparently all the voters by voting him into the starting lineup for the All-Star game. Fans obviously having a lot to do with that. So, yeah, I mean, Joker without Draymond, everything here, like whatever you want to look at, home, road splits, all of it just leans towards that the Nuggets are going to win this game. I'm going to hit their money line. I wish I had hit it last night. I didn't see that soon enough, obviously. And then just, find some other ways to just bet them to win this game and for there to be a good amount of points in it.
Yeah, I mean, another way is to tease them up as they're still underdogs. You might have to do that at close to a pick'em eventually and tease that Nets total down a little bit. We do like the over closer to where it opened there or around 230. But yeah, as long as Jokic is playing, you got to favor the Nuggets in this one. The Warriors have not. I mean, they had a nice feel-good win against the Clippers, but they have not performed against playoff teams in their last 11 against teams in playoff position. They're 2-9 against the spread. And one of those covers is against the Nuggets, where they got a little extra value because Steph sat. Jordan Poole went off and they covered 8.5 point spread by 1 or 2 points. Look, they had a 128.6 defensive rating in that game, and their pace was up at 101. Denver's happy to play at that pace. Jokic showing incredible stamina this year with his ability to rebound and then push and then just score on people, on centers who can't guard him in space. I mean, nobody can guard him in space. Nobody can handle him when he's passing out of the post. And in his last 5 on 0 days rest, his averages are kind of skewed by only playing about 25 minutes and getting 8 points in a blowout over Portland. But the efficiency is still through the roof. 139 offensive rating, 62% field goal. And I mentioned he had a 32-point triple-double against the Warriors on 0 days rest. So And the biggest thing here is if we do get into a close game, the Nuggets have been incredible in the fourth quarter lately. In their last 10, they're 6-0 in clutch situations. They have the second best net rating in clutch situations since the All-Star break. And the Warriors are dead last in net rating, a negative 97 net rating, and have gone 0-4 in those clutch situations since the break with a 50 offensive rating. 50. So if you get the ball out of Steph's hands and make somebody else create right now, it's been a disaster for the Warriors. I mean, they don't have their playmaker in Draymond, and they'll struggle if this gets into a close game. But it is feast or famine for the Warriors, and with a team on a back-to-back, I do kind of like the over a little bit more, which is hit in 13 of the Nuggets' last 16, and is 4-1. When they are underdogs at home, going over by an average of nearly 7 points per game.
Yeah, I'm with all that, and just adding to the Warriors' inability to find success against playoff teams, good teams. 7 of their last 8 road games against playoff teams or teams with a winning record also they have not won, and they've only covered 2 of those as well. So there's a lot to like about Denver tonight. I mean, I believe you mentioned it, but I mean, we'll just restate: when Joker plays in 18 career games where Draymond is in, he's looking at 16 points per game, 50% from the field, 18% from 3. So obviously Draymond able to cover him all over the floor. No Draymond, we know what he was able to do last game against them, triple double, etc. So this is just an easy call for me, and I think this is one where the odds makers, similar to that 222 total that they posted initially for the Philly Brooklyn game, which was just, as we now know, at least 12 points off according to how people are betting it. This line was completely off at -4.5. It's already been bet down to -1.5. I'll still continue to hit it as the Warriors are favorites in a game that I don't expect them to win at all. And I would even consider an alt line now for Denver at somewhere around -3, get about +220 on your money there as well on FanDuel. So some really good opportunities to bet the Nuggets to win tonight. Probably plenty of those player performance doubles as well, as those are coming up still on FanDuel. So you can find good ways to get some stats in there for Jokic and a win as well for the Nuggets. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Really looking forward to tonight. 2 really fun games that we can dive into. Make sure you do like and subscribe to that page. You can check out all the videos we have up for you today. And until we see you next, happy betting.